All right, here we are, the final part of our deep dive into AI readiness. We've spent a ton of time assessing all the risks, and now it's time to act. In this last explainer, we're going to shift gears from insight to impact. We're talking about building a real, concrete roadmap and an action plan from all that due diligence we've been talking about. Okay, before we really get into the weeds, you know the drill. Our quick but super important disclaimer. This is part 15 of our 15-part overview, all based on that comprehensive research report from Virtualization Options LLC, a stakeholder's guide to assessing an organization's AI readiness, governance, and risk mitigation strategies. And just a heads up, as you'd expect, what we cover here is just a slice of the full report. Also, this isn't legal, financial, or investment advice, and it doesn't come with any warranty expressed or implied. So what's on the docket for today? Well, first up, we're turning that assessment into action. Then we'll figure out how to prioritize the most critical gaps, because you can't do everything at once, right? From there, we'll lay out a phased implementation roadmap, talk about what executing key improvements actually looks like, and then get to the big one, the investment decision point. And we'll wrap it all up with a continuous action plan that works for every single stakeholder. All right, let's picture this. The comprehensive assessment is finally done. You've got this report in your hands, and it's just packed with findings, red flags, all sorts of recommendations. But here's the hard truth. That document, all by itself, it's pretty much worthless. The real value isn't in the paper it's printed on. It's in what you do next. Yeah, this is that ultimate, okay, now what moment. For any investor, any board member, any business partner who's done all that homework. Turning these insights into actual, measurable impact, well, that's where the rubber meets the road. It's where the real work begins, and frankly, where the real value is created. So that assessment report, it probably unearthed a whole laundry list of things to fix. We're talking dozens of areas for improvement, right? Everything from tiny little process tweaks to massive, sweeping governance overhauls. And let's be real, with limited time, budget, and people, you just can't tackle everything at once. And that, of course, leads to the million-dollar question. With all these potential issues staring you in the face, how on earth do you decide where to even begin? I mean, without a structured way to do this, you risk total paralysis by analysis. Or even worse, you end up wasting a ton of resources on stuff that doesn't really move the needle, all while the really critical risks are just sitting there, unaddressed. The key then is to have a systematic framework for prioritizing. Just think of it like a big filter. You run each issue through it. Is this a super severe risk that's also very likely to happen? Boom, straight to the top of the list. Is there a regulatory deadline that's breathing down your neck? Well, that's an immediate priority, no question. This whole process forces you to focus your energy, your firepower, where it's going to have the biggest possible impact. Okay, so once you know your priorities, you need a plan. And I'm not just talking about a simple to-do list. No, you need a real strategic roadmap, something that actually guides the entire organization from where you are today to where you want to be in the future, a state of real AI maturity. Look, trying to fix everything all at once, this big bang approach, it's just a recipe for disaster. It never works. The smart way to do it is to think in stages. You break this huge journey down into manageable chunks, into phases. And each one has its own clear milestones that deliver tangible value along the way. That's how you build momentum and, just as importantly, keep leadership bought into the whole thing. So what does this phased approach actually look like in practice? Well, in the first 3 months or so, you're all about the foundation. You're tackling the most critical, burning platform risks. Then you shift to quick wins to show progress and build some serious momentum. After that, it's about building out your core capabilities, then optimizing everything you've built. And finally, the goal is to reach a state of sustained maturity. So we've got our priorities sorted out, and we have our timeline. Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty of execution. What are we actually supposed to be doing in these early phases? Let's break it down across those key pillars: governance, tech, and talent. Okay, in that foundational first quarter, those first 90 days, the focus is all about structure. Seriously, forget about trying to perfect every single policy. That's not the goal. The goal is to get the absolute essentials in place. We're talking the board, committee, the cross-functional governance council, and those must-have standards and incident response plans. These are the non-negotiables, the very first steps to building a solid governance framework. Now, this right here is so important. This gets to the very heart of why so many of these big transformation plans just fail. It's almost never because the plan itself is bad. It's the absence of these critical success factors. I mean, you can have the most brilliant, perfectly crafted roadmap in the world, but if you don't have visible executive sponsorship and clear accountability, it's just going to end up as a fancy document sitting on a shelf collecting dust.
All right, for all the investors, VCs, and shareholders listening, this is it. This is the culmination of all that due diligence, all the data you've gathered, all the interviews, all the analysis. It all funnels down to this single crucial decision point.
So, how do you weigh all these different factors? It's really tempting to get fixated on the cool tech, right? The pure technical capability. But the research makes a really powerful argument here. Governance and talent are what deserve the highest weighting. And why is that? Well, because amazing tech can be fleeting, but a rock-solid governance culture and a truly world-class team, that's what creates sustainable long-term value every time. And here's where it all comes together. You can translate that maturity assessment directly into a clear investment recommendation. If a company is at that nascent level, you're looking at a high-risk bet. Maybe you invest, but you'd be smart to make it conditional on them building a real governance roadmap. But a company that's already optimized, we're talking minimal risk. And that level of maturity, it could absolutely justify a premium valuation.
You know, AI readiness isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of problem. Every single stakeholder has a really distinct role to play in pushing the organization forward. So let's break down the key actions for each group one by one.
Let's make this super actionable. If you're an investor, the takeaway is simple. Mandate systematic AI due diligence. If you're a board member, your number one job is to establish that formal AI oversight committee. For regulators, you've got to build your internal AI expertise to even have a chance of keeping up. And for business partners, this one is so crucial. Get those AI governance clauses into your contracts before something goes wrong, not after the fact. And all of this leads us to what is maybe the most critical concept in this entire series: continuous assessment. See, AI readiness isn't a project with a finish line. The technology, the regulations, the risks, they are all constantly moving targets. That check-the-box assessment you did 6 months ago, it's already out of date. This has to be an ongoing discipline, something that's literally part of the organization's DNA. You know, there's a quote from the report that just perfectly captures the essence of this whole series. It says, "The path to AI readiness is neither quick nor easy, but it is necessary. It begins with honest assessment, commitment to improvement, and an unwavering focus on responsible development." I mean, that really says it all, doesn't it? So as we wrap up this entire series, I want to leave you with one last thought to chew on. The critical question isn't just, are we ready for AI right now? It's actually, do we have the discipline to stay ready? That's the real challenge. Thank you so much for joining us for this entire deep dive. It's been a journey,